I'm actually going to cut myself short because we do have the game up and ready for you guys. We are going to be on Kafe to start off the evening. Again, this is the first day, the first play day for North American Pro League, Year 2, Season 2. Our matchup right now is FlipSid Tactics versus OMEN eSports.
Woo.
We're going to have OMEN starting on defense, FlipSid starting on attack. And again, this is map number 1 in this best-of-3 series that is leading underway right now.
Hibana, Thatcher, Blackbeard, Twitch, Ash coming out from Flip-Flop. Pulse, Mira, Jaeger, Smoke, and Echo coming out from OMEN.
From Flip-Flop or FlipSid?
FlipSid, yeah. And none of these operator picks really surprise at all. I mean, there's no Thermite coming out for the attacking squad, which isn't really essential when it comes to a Kafe attack, given that the only walls you really need to get through are, again, that one at the bottom of red drop. When it comes to the defensive lineup, we are seeing the Pulse for that player who's likely going to be playing underneath, as this is a fully destructible floor in the B-bomb site. We have the Mira, which is going to be putting down the very predictable Mira windows coming out of Freezer, looking into Piano to give them some sort of visual control over Piano at least. And then we are also going to be having the Jaeger, because Jaeger is Jaeger, and you need a Jaeger. He also blocks grenades, has a crazy gun, crazy speed, etc., etc. He's Jaeger. We have Smoke coming out, and that's going to be for plant disruption. As again, the plant is very predictable, that default spot being behind the wooden desks in the B-bomb site just outside of Scar door. And the Echo just to double up on that disruption for the diffuser plant.
Now, as a defender, and if you know that one of your pivotal points is going to be that freezer, where you have both the mirror charges or the mirror windows, do you, as a defender, reinforce that drop hatch inside of the freezer, or do you leave it just untouched, or do you open it up? What is the goal of that drop hatch?
Well, now the question with that drop hatch in freezer is kind of debatable, to be honest, because it really depends on what the attacking squad's going to be doing, and you're not psychic, so you can't really, you're not telepathic, you can't figure it out, all right? You don't know until they're doing it, so it's sort of the thing that you need to feel out. If the attacking squad's going to be doing what we talked about earlier, which is sending that attacker downstairs to try and establish some amount of control over the roam game on the first floor, then it's a bad idea to have that drop down open 9 times out of 10. Because what if it's a sledge and then he throws a nade into your guy in freezer, or there's an Ash and a sledge, so you can get rid of the ADSs. I mean, there's options abound for the attackers. So.
Yep. Now we did see Mental roaming around on the bottom floor. I believe he came down the red stairs, worked his way into the bakery. I don't believe we have anyone from FlipSid currently anywhere except the top of the roof.
No, right now F3 is entirely on the roof, as you stated. You know, the thing is this is what we see on Kafe time and time again for the attacking squad. Hot and Cold has progressed his way down the drop, is looking on that pixel angle, waiting for Cookies to peek him, but doesn't look like anything's going to come of it.
No, now we do have Hot and Cold trying to get rid of some of the barbed wire here, moving on forward. He's taking control of that cigar lounge. Cookies, though, waiting, ready for the shot.
Opportunity missed.
The window has been opened up. That was done by Adam and the Twitch drone. So therefore, Hot and Cold's going to look for the shot, but the pop-up from Yellow is going to down Hot and Cold for the first kill of Year 2, Season 2.
Ooh, and a follow-up kill from Team Mercs. That's going to put the defenders in a very good position here on this map. The attackers have thus far established no control, and as you can see there, Cookies has pushed his way further into Piano, which is going to afford them a little bit more wasted time.
Now, Mint is very cautious of someone being inside of the cocktail lounge, as well as the corner of Piano, where we saw Hot and Cold holding that pixel angle earlier. Cookies is actually right inside of that cigar lounge, inside of that Piano. So right now, he's waiting for someone to make a peek. That's going to be Chala, I believe. Chala trying to make that push right from the top of red stairs. Mint still stuck around inside. He can't push into the bar just yet due to the gas grenade, but with 35 seconds to go, we are still going to see the defender's man advantage up. Cookie's moving on forward. He's going to try to take down Mint, and he does successfully. He's going to pop on up in just a moment, looking for Chala. Will he get it? Not just yet. He's waiting for the right time to go. 20 seconds remains. You've got Pojo Man getting taken down by Team Mercs. This could be a flawless round here for OMEN to kick off the first round of the day. No, Chala's got his own stuff to say about it as he takes down Cookie. He pulls out that bearing 9, reloads it with about 10 seconds left to go. He's going to have to move on forward, but it's Yellow who gets taken down a Claymore kill. He's actually got the ability to get the clutch here. He's just going to hop on forward, looks to the right. He cannot get the kill.
Close.
That's going to be a 3K from Chala, but he ends up short. And we will have OMEN taking round number 1.
So OMEN making their fantastic debut with defending that top floor, but Chala equally making his fantastic debut as his first Pro League match, showing that he definitely has the teeth that FlipSid needed and they brought him onto this team for. At the same time, though, this is kind of the result we expect to see on this particular defense. I mean, top floor Kafe is really the preferred one. It's like Clubhouse on basement, or Clubhouse basement, or you know, just kind of the go-to site on this map. And I mean, I'd say most defense teams are capable of winning it. However, what we did see from FlipSid there was, I have to say, a distinct lack of teeth in that attack. It seemed kind of like they were challenging the predictable angles and just losing the fights. No other real things to be said about it. I mean, they lost 2 people straight up. Yeah, just challenging the angles that OMEN had established and put in, just waiting for FlipSid to walk into.
I mean, you had talked about it earlier. On this map in particular, there's always a spearhead, and it's always red stairs. It's into Cigar Lounge and pushing on forward through there. And we saw Hot and Cold go, we saw Mint go, we saw Chala go. They all went through the same route, the same avenue.
Yeah, and Chala was the only one to actually win when he challenged those avenues. So, I mean, that's really all it comes down to on Kafe, unfortunately. This is what we talked about earlier. Sometimes on certain maps, the meta can just stale and become, brittle, and, get to the point at which it doesn't come down to strategy at all. Everyone knows what's going to be happening throughout each and every round. And, I mean, we saw that on Clubhouse for a number of seasons, but that got mixed up and thrown through a loop because of the addition of Glaz having thermal optics. The meta then developed on that map. So we're going to...
Oh, what a kill here by Hot and Cold. Beautiful camera and just beautiful patience waiting for that shot on the Dino.
That was a good peek out there. That's going to put them in a great position. I mean, they're defending top floor. You don't necessarily need to get that aggressive on this particular site, but it's good that you do it when it works out.
Yep.
So yeah, it really is a question of for the ages of when will Kafe see that great meta mix-up where we start to see alterations going into the attack rounds. I mean, we did see a couple teams try to do some different things on the north side of the building, or northeast side of the building, but it hasn't played into this current meta other than, I think, 3 or 4 rounds.
So now Hot and Cold is moving around inside of the train and mining room as Mint's taking control of the piano room.
Yeah, having that mute in the piano room affords them a lot of information game victories, I suppose. They also have that shield that Adam's sitting behind, which is going to give him a pixel angle onto the players who are going to be... Ooh, this is actually straight through the shelving unit, I suppose.
This is a little bit of a different iteration that we saw Penta and Sisu go through during their decider matches into the placements of land. We saw the double shield. Now, we only saw one here, but it does look like some shots from Mental will go through. I want to say the drone hole?
It was a drone hole, yeah. So the dilemma with that particular corner is the drone hole is so easily seen from the window. He's going to get traded back, though, from Mint before Mint gets traded back from Cookies, and now a 3-3 will ensue.
Yep, so with that, we do have PojoMan stuck inside of the washroom at the moment, trying to fight these shots here onto Yellow and Cookies. You see, again, this is the spearhead. All 3 members of OMEN left alive are coming in through the top of red stairs. They're either going to decide to push into piano or they're going to decide to push in through the cigar lounge. Both are pinch points because Chala's over here inside of the cocktail looking forwards. You also have Hot and Cold underneath. He's just looking to see if he can spot Yellow. He will not see him here.
Yeah, that angle is pretty predictable and common, and I'm sure that OMEN is aware of it being established, so they're likely not going to expose themselves to it unnecessarily. And
there is PojoMan decapitating Yellow, and it looks like he might get one another here. Chala. And we also have Hibana. That's going to be Chala, and however, PojoMan gets the final kill.
Yeah, PojoMan locking things out there. So what we were seeing was just kind of like an all-over-the-place sort of defense strat from OMEN. They were trying to do everything, it seemed like. They had 2 people on the site, 2 people playing in the library, or thereabouts, roaming, as you could say. And then you had 1 player roaming hard upstairs. That was the Mira. Unfortunately, that Mira did not help the team in any significant form. You could argue that she wasted a lot of time, but I think you could just attribute that to FlipSid taking nice and slow, not wanting to really risk anything. She herself, as a presence, wasted time, but as an operator, as an individual, as a player, maybe not so much. So I think, just as soon as the FlipSid had a complete upstairs control and OMEN weren't trying to challenge onto that or do anything to counter it, it just became a kind of a landslide of a victory for FlipSid.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking with Pulse being underneath of the red stairs, the C4 downed, I believe it was Hot and Cold, or down 1
yeah,
member
that
FlipSid.
was unfortunate.
But the Heartbeat Sensor identified more targets in Cigar Lounge, close to the top of red stairs. I felt like once, I think that was Yellow, who was the Mira and got out of the bathroom after getting rid of the Mira, or getting out of there. instead of going down, instead of going into the cocktail lounge, I would have seen him or expect him to go down the yellow or the white stairs and retreat back to his team. Give it up, realize that there's a swarm of FlipSid players coming at him. He's the only man around.
It was interesting that he decided to take a left instead of just kind of go back downstairs. I mean, that's what we see more often than not in the Pro League is the player will, when they lose their mirror window or they lose their footing really, they'll not want to risk their life and they'll just get the heck out of there. But that's the decision he made, and it did cost his team dearly in control of the map overall. Now, FlipSid on the advantage here, having won the very first attack round of this map so far. They are going to be defending the same site that OMEN was forced to defend, which is going to be that train room. It's curious to see, or we're going to be interesting to see how they choose to defend it. There are a number of ways to defend train room, and I think the more leaned on fashion of defending it these days is to go for sort of a pseudo retake strategy on defense, whereby you invest one, maybe two players on the site itself, but you have the majority of the rest of your players, 4 or 3, roaming either upstairs or in the library/reading room. That means that once the attackers control piano and start opening up the floor to look into the A-bomb site or train room, they can't get any picks onto any unprepared defenders underneath them.
Now Hot and Cold jumps on outside. He will grab yellow. Another good kill, another good placement, just perfect patience from Hot and Cold.
More importantly, I have to say, I mean, he's peeking out the same angle he peeked out on his first defense round, and it's still working for him, and that means that we're just not seeing OMEN latch down on that run out and be prepared for it.
Now we do have an all off-site defensive hold. We've got 2 roamers underneath. They've freely given up the top floor to the attackers. They say, hey, look, if you want to drop into the train room, guess what? You can't plant there. You have to move into one of our bomb sites.
Now, this is, again, what I talked about earlier. It's the opposite of what they were doing on their upstairs defense. When their upstairs defense, they were invested in Cigar and Piano. I'm talking about FlipSid right now. In this instance, they're not. And it comes down to the fact that they know the attackers are going to put everything they have into taking control of Piano. So why are we going to, try to force that out? We don't need to take that risk. As a defensive squad, we can simply wait for them to start to pressure the site, go for that diffuse plant, and then pick them off as they do so. We don't have to fight the hard fight against people with rifles, people with shields in front of their faces, people with 3 speed.
Now, it looks like OMEN is just trying to waste time by looking for angles, looking for people, and it's not happening. Mint is actually going to give away his position by falling off of the couch. However, he does hear Teamworks. He's going to get the wall bang hip fire right there on the Teamworks. A wonderful shot by Mint. Looks as though he will be tagged in the back, though, by Cookies as he strafes around. Cookies looking through the doorway by Yellow Stairs and takes down Mint for the trade. However, we still have FlipSid with 15 seconds left to go and up by 1 man. A 4-on-3 is going to ensue. 10 seconds left to go. Pojo Man trying to get some kills. Looking, gets the headshot there on the mental. And we will have the wall of fireplace gets opened up here by Cookies. But with 3 seconds left to go, it is not enough as we are going to have the final 2 kills by Adam and Chala, taking down Dino and Cookies.
Mint getting that kill through the wall in the beginning of that engagement really set the tone for the engagement as a whole. The attackers lost a lot of their structure with that pick onto the Hibana. Now, it's interesting that he managed to get that kill too. I feel like 9 times out of 10, a player put in that position is not going to be able to secure that kill. I mean, that instinctive flick spray through the wall was just an excellent read on his part. Good job to Mint to do that and put his team in a great position to win the round overall. But you could mostly just attribute that round to a lack of time, a lack of whole control on the attacker's side. Because what they were doing, and we talked about this earlier, was take red, take piano, open floor and piano, look onto the site, and lo and behold, there's nobody from FlipSid sitting on the site. Again, the strategy that is coming into the forefront of defending that train room in this current meta is not playing anybody there because you don't need to have anyone get exposed, not trying to force out control of piano because, again, you're exposed to the attackers. You're putting yourself in a bad position to win the gunfights. And you saw FlipSid play into that wonderfully. I mean, when it comes down to the chaotic, just mass chaos sort of engagement style that we saw ensue or happen in the last couple seconds of that round, FlipSid's at the clear advantage and that they know what they have control of and what they don't. Whereas the attackers, with only 30 seconds left to go, they have to kind of push together as best they can to, let's hope we get a pick and start winning these fights. We don't know where the defenders are, but
I was half expecting Mental to stay down underneath of that window. That heartbeat sensor will spot hot and cold.
Oh, this is interesting. FlipSid are all repelling here. Mental might go for this. Come on, Mental.
He could. If I was one of the FlipSid members, I'd look upside down, but none of them are. You have to go for it, Mental. I don't care.
Come on, Mental.
Do it.
Oh.
He's not. He's going to give it away.
Opportunity missed.
So one of the things that I've learned, because I tend to repel a lot and I die often, is I've learned to repel upside down and look at typical windows or pop-out spots.
Yeah, you did see Pojoman doing that in that instance. It's, in theory, if Mental had gone for that peek out, he probably would have lost the engagement to the Blackbeard. However, it was such a juicy opportunity. All the same, I mean, you see all 5 of them repelling, you're like, ho, 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 I want to go for it. I know Mental really, really had to fight the urge on that one.
Now we will see, again, all of members of FlipSid working their way up here, getting rid of the ADSs here, using the flashbangs from Pojoman.
Yeah, FlipSid's in a good position here, being the scoreline is 3-1. However, again, they're attacking the same site that they failed to win last time, which is upstairs, the preferred site of the majority of teams in the Pro League as of this moment. They have much more swiftly started their control push onto Piano, and this time the Hibana charges look like they might actually be going off on the mirror windows, which is going to lend them a lot of control when they start pushing themselves east into the site itself. However, Mental's still underneath with that C4, and he might get a kill here.
Oh, but it will not go through. I think he was expecting it to go through and land up towards that cigar lounge.
Still going to be... Ooh, no.
There's going to be one head tap from Yellow right onto Hot and Cold, dropping him down. Chala's going to try to challenge this as well, but he's got Adam to the left, and it looks as though Cookie will take down Adam. And now we have 2-man advantage here for Omen. Still have plenty of time left to go. However, that's going to force Yellow out of there. And as he does, it looks like he will not take the full damage that Chala was trying to lay down onto him. But Mental's still going to be underneath. He has not been able to pick up that Nitro cell. That C4 is still going to stay right at the entry point from Cigar into the bar. Pojoman, however, might be seen here by Mental if he just moves his toes just a little bit more to the right side. Pojoman instead is going to decide to just back on out. He's not going to fall down just yet. With 30 seconds remaining, we are going to have Chala trying to work his way into the piano room along with Mint. Diffuser's in the hands of this Hibana. They are going to focus their way over here. Looks like Cookies, though, gets 1 kill, and then is traded down by Mint. Chala, though, going to get a double kill. It's all to him with 2 men left to go. 15 seconds remaining. He's going to look for Teamwork. Can he get the kill? He's looking for the shots. He just cannot get it. It's going to be a little potato back and forth. However, the hip-fire shot from Teamwork will go, and Chala will fall yet again.
The vein knife in the air from Chala attempting to lock that out. Some good play on the bomb from the Echo to block all those bullets. Well played to him. Chala, again, trying to, make that fatal, or just futile is the right word, push into the site at the very last couple seconds as the last attacker alive. And, I'm going to be honest here, if we saw that from Chala, maybe a little like 30 seconds earlier in the round, and before all of his teammates were dead, we might see FlipSid start winning that attack. All in all, great defense there from Omen, playing it just as well as they needed to, and that they weren't exposing themselves unnecessarily. They were taking the fights they knew they could win, and they certainly did. And they didn't. That's pretty much the end of the story. Mint going to be bringing that mute here on the top floor defense yet again. It's going to be interesting to see if they're actually going to try to roam in piano this time. Last time it didn't work out for them so well, but the mute charge, or the mutes coming out here, is kind of leading me to believe that they're going to do that yet again. I mean, you got shot through the drone hole last time. I don't think they're going to let you sit there anymore. I'm pretty sure that they're going to shoot you through the drone hole again. So it's interesting they're choosing to put that shield down yet again and not reposition it, maybe try to utilize it elsewhere, but we'll see if it plays out for FlipSid.
Reminds me of trying to go back all the way to Season 1 and before Season 1 where you'd have the Rook armor and you stick it down to the drone hole to stop drones from coming through. Just pick up Rook and put it right there. Maybe they won't go for it.
Yeah.
But no, one of the things I want to mention though is during our interview with FlipSid, Mint had talked about how they picked up Chala to be their fragger, and he is at the top of the board with 7 kills, getting that top frag position. Adam being more of the sentry, being more of the heavy onset person that's going to be on site. you're not necessarily expecting him to get all the kills, especially when FlipSide is able to get their kills without the attackers getting onto the site. So I feel like they have picked up 2 very good members to coordinate with their team together.
Yeah, FlipSide's always been that team that is very strategic, very slow-paced, and doesn't have a lot of oomph, not a lot of punch, a lot of teeth, you know, whatever you want to call it. And you're definitely right. I think that these 2 new players, Adam and Shala, bring a lot of that to the board. Shala especially, again, he's kind of a beast of just a fighter, an entry fragger, or whatever you want to call it.
He reminds me of my man a little bit. Like in the sense that my man came into the Pro League last season and no one knew anything of him, and he turned out to be a shining star.
I suppose, yeah. You can see here, OMEN, they have taken control of red stairs, opened up that piano wall, and they're starting to now try and apply the pressure onto piano itself. However, they have to contest this Mint. I'm not sure they know he's here.
Oh.
Mint is going to peek out and kill the Thermite. That's Cookies.
Now, looks like Mint does see the other one. T-Marks as well is very
stuck in the
aware of it.
smoke.
He is stuck in the smoke. He's going to try to duke on over here. Mint's going to go for the shot. He gets another kill right on a T-Marks. That gas grenade was a perfect coordination. A triple kill here by Mint, dropping yellow for the count. He's going to go for another. Can he get down?
Oh!
He can. Can he get the ace? He's going here for Mint. He gets it. Mint's going to get the ace here and have his team go to match point on Kafe.
Oh, the first ace of this particular Pro League season is going to come out for Mint. I mean, you could argue that that was really easy. Just kind of look this direction and shoot people.
An ace is an ace.
An ace is an ace. Exactly, sir. Whether it be from C4 or because they're all challenging the same angle, an ace is an ace. And Mint certainly stepped up on that round. So remember last time when they defended upstairs and the mute roam and piano didn't really work at all? Yeah, it's not happening this time. Mint played that extremely well. The lack of information coming out for the attackers because they weren't able to drone out that position led to them losing engagement after engagement.
Guess what Omen's going to do next time? They're gonna pre-fire that mini bar to make sure no one's behind it.
They're gonna, you know what? They're probably gonna dump at least 3 or 4 mags into that mini bar. Each and every one of them, as they come around that corner, they're gonna be like, okay, shooting the mini bar. I mean, teammates are already in piano. We're shooting the mini bar.
We're gonna grab Buck, Sledge, IQ. We're gonna toss 6 nades over there. We're gonna grab Capital fire arrows. This whole thing is bent on making sure
no one's behind the mini bar. Not anymore.
Oh,
and he's gonna be the piano, just prone behind the little wooden wall.
Job well done, Mint. Job well done on the ace, kicking off the Season 2, Year 2 Pro League with a bang here for North America.
Yeah, and FlipSide certainly looking very strong on Kafe thus far in this matchup. Now, again, we talked about this earlier. OMEN is a very new team to the Pro League, and they finished 3rd in the Challenger League this last season, and they were actually pushed forward because I think it was Ominous.
Yes, Ominous disbanded.
Yes, so Ominous disbanded, so they gave up they forfeited their Pro League spot they had earned in the last season. So OMEN was kind of brought in at a moment's notice, I suppose. So, you know, and FlipSide on the other hand, on the flip side, they have been playing in the Pro League for quite a long time. So experience-wise here, they have the advantage, certainly. That's not to be ignored.
Yeah, the majority of these players on FlipSide have been in the Pro League since Season 1.
Oh, yeah.
Well, on various different teams, but they have been all together for the past 6 months or so.
I think Hot and Cold is a little bit newer, so is Adam. But other than that, and Chala is, you know, a Challenger League player. But Hojoman and Mint, they've been around the block, friendo. They've been here, they've been there, they've been all every freaking where in the North American Pro League and the Siege competitive scene in general. They're very old players.
Now we do have Hot and Cold rushing on in. He's going to knock the socks off of Yellow as he pushes on into the freezer, sees the drop hatch open inside of the reading room. And the rest of his team has now just secured the rest of this site, except for Cookies, who's now staking the same spot as Mint. He's going to grab one. Can he grab another? He's trying to pull him in, but he cannot right now. Mint knows the spots, and it looks like though we're going to have Hot and Cold get a double kill from behind. A 3K for Hot and Cold. Could this be the ace from Hot? We saw the ace from Mint last round. Can we have an ace from Hot this time?
Come on, Dino.
He's picked up 3. He's got 2 more to go. Mint and T-Marks are the last 2 alive with still half the round to go.
Give him the health, Dino. Give him a little bit of HP to win these fights, get the ace. Oh, wow, he doesn't know.
That would just be a one-tap pre-fire.
No. Imagine.
And that could have been it.
Imagine, dude. It's too bad.
My.
He's going to look back on this VOD and he's going to be like, aw,
He's like, I'm just going to pre-fire that once every 10 seconds.
Pre-firing everything now, just shooting through all the destructible walls.
Now, Pojo Man is out here on the bakery roof. This is the typical spot for Blackbeard, just trying to hold down the rotations, make sure that they make it, there's not a lot of angles you can move to. Hot and Cold, though, looking like he might spot Dino's feet. Dyna going to try to challenge this himself, but it looks as though we're going to have Mint stealing 1 kill. Dyna will go down. Last man alive is going to be Teamworks inside of the fireplace. Hot and Cold was tagged a little bit. Mint's going to go for some shots through the wall. Tags him just a little bit, but cannot. Hot and Cold's going to get a 4K.
GG.
Dropping down Teamworks. And this is going to be map number 1, going in the hands of FlipSid Tactics.
Well played, the FlipSid. Interesting defense there from Ominous. Now, this is the defense strategy that was a little bit more meta in the past and something that we've seen a lot of, well, frequently in the Pro League just overall. In that, okay, let's put 1 or 2 on the site in the train room itself to defend A and B, and then we'll have 2 roamers upstairs and then 1 roamer over in the reading room. And FlipSid saw that, picked it apart 1 by 1. Actually, I think it was 3 upstairs, no one in the reading room. But as soon as they got those 3 off the board, the top floor roamers, sure, they had an extreme advantage. But aside from that, they had such an advantage in control of the map in that they did what we were talking about earlier, open up the floor piano, shoot the people underneath you. I mean, that's why we didn't see FlipSid play anyone in train, is because they know that's going to happen. That's why we didn't see them play anyone upstairs on their train defense either. It's because they know that the attackers are going to take upstairs control. We'll just wait for that to happen, and then we'll attack. And then we'll take the fights because we'll be on even ground.
They read Omen very well in those last few rounds. And, I mean, just dropping it to the last 2 rounds, we had Mint take home 6 kills, and Hot and Cold took down 4.
Yeah.
So, like, ending on such a strong note from that stance, it's almost like you want this next game to start as soon as possible if you're FlipSid to keep that momentum going.
You know, the only sites or the only rounds that Omen were able to win in that entire matchup was their upstairs defense. It was I think a 5-2.
Yes.
So their upstairs defense that was it. That was all Omen had on the board, and it really just comes down to, yeah, okay, FlipSid, maybe they need to work on their upstairs attack a little bit. Maybe they need to apply a little bit more teeth to what they have going on there. However, you know,
you
can't
win Pro League with a 1 bomb site strategy.
Exactly. So now, moving on to Consulate, we're going to be seeing FlipSid starting on attack, Omen on defense, Hibana, Thermite, Blackbeard, Buck, and I'm going to guess Thatcher. Going to be coming out from FlipSid. Valkyrie, Sledge instead, look at that. Valkyrie, Mira, Castle, Smoke, and Jaeger for Omen. Oh no, an IQ. Now that makes a lot of sense actually. An IQ is kind of one of those operators that I think a lot of players don't necessarily think is any good. Maybe they besmirch her name a little bit. She needs a buff, or like Blitz, for example. However, on this map, Valkyrie is very prominent with those cameras going outside, and IQ is perfect at hunting that down.
So, we see FlipSid choosing Thermite and Hibana. Did they choose the Thermite just for safety in case they were garage?
Yeah, that's all.
Because I'm thinking if you're playing that for safety, wouldn't you also bring a Thatcher for safety?
Yeah, I mean, on this map, you don't need a Thatcher, because if they're going in the garage, if we could bring the camera down to the piano room.
Correct,
real quick,
you've got Adam as Buck. Yep.
Yeah, you could just open up the entire floor of the piano room, and then you could see all of the batteries from on the garage. So, I mean, you're right. A Thatcher would make that a little bit easier, but it's not necessary. You don't even have to go into piano. You can bucket from the window, repelling outside. Yep.
One of the things I'm thinking that we might see Adam do is hop into that first floor hallway right underneath of the bathroom where we saw the mirror window placed, open up the floor there if they realize that there's potential for someone to play inside.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, we could see that from Adam. It's like get some pressure from underneath, but more often than not, we find on this particular attack, an upstairs attack, it's usually the attackers choose to come from the floor that is actually being defended, which is the top. They'll rappel up onto the windows, try to take control of admin, for example, and then start to take from east to west. You know, there's a lot of different strategies, but it would be interesting to see if FlipSid decide to go for a first floor or bottom floor uptake. They are going to have to contest, however, with Teamworks, and I think it's Mental on the Valkyrie on the other end of the map. We're going to be roaming pretty hard here.
Yeah, now Teamworks was spotted out, so he's going to try to stay around towards those Visa stairs as Mental still has free roam of this downstairs garage and server room. He's now coming up the circle stairs, but it looks as though Yellow will be the first one to fall by Adam as he peeks on in through the connector window in towards the B-bomb site.
Jaeger's come back up to the site. He recognizes the fact that we aren't going to be seeing a lot of attackers come in on the bottom floors, and then he needs to contest from the site itself. He doesn't have C4, so he can't pressure for the defuse plan later in the round.
I think Omen's starting to realize that FlipSid is one of those teams that is very direct with their attacks. They don't spend too much time fishing after other people. We saw all 5, for the most part, going up to the roof on Kafe.
I would describe their team strategy as pragmatic, to say the least.
It's a big word.
Yeah, it is a big word. I read my dictionary today.
Okay.
For sure. For sure.
I missed that one. I just go with thesauruses. Pick off the smaller words. But no, we do have, looks like Pojo Man got taken out a few moments ago, as Adam's still going to be here on the connector window. Mental, though, looking for the shots to come on out, but Chala's already there, as Hot and Cold will take down T-Mercs. There's Chala poking in through the yellow stairs to take home Mental. Cookies will try to trade down one onto Hot and Cold, but now he's giving away his position. He's taking about 40% of his health from Adam.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been
And
dropped.
Dino's going to take that SMG-11 to the face of Mint and smack him across the face with it. With 2 members left to go from Omen, we have a 2-on-2 now. 40 seconds left. Adam's still trying to fight his way through the connector window. Not able to tank those shots there onto the smoke just yet, but Chala just narrowly misses the shots there onto Cookies as that gas grenade kind of hit him for the time being. Now his diffuser fallen. I believe that is outside of the corner office window. Will get picked up by Chala as he comes on up the stairs. Cookies, though, going to be to receive him here because they are forcing their way up here. Cookies just going to wait for the sound of the steps coming up. He hears it now, goes for the shots with a shotgun from Adam, says bye-bye, and now he's looking to the side. Chala, though, going to drop out the final kill on a Dino, and that will be FlipSid, taking home round number 1 here on Consulate.
That attack was all over the place, as was the defense. Both of these squads just taking fights on the entire, well, pretty much the majority of that map. The only place where you didn't see a fight was on the bottom floor, as far as I can remember. We had people challenging on yellow stairs, we had people challenging on the A window, we had all the things everywhere, all the fights. Very chaotic. So, but it all came down to just winning those individual fights, as we saw there even towards the end, Omen trying to directly challenge what FlipSid was getting up to, which was in the end when it was a 2 versus 2. Let's go yellow together. I mean, Omen's like, well, we'll fight you at yellow then. I mean, there's not a lot of you know, attempting to get a retake or attempting to outplay going on here. Just, hey, take the fight, take the fight, take the fight. And I think it's working to FlipSid's advantage, especially now, again, we talked about this earlier, now that FlipSid has that Chala and that Adam with those teeth, winning in the good skill at winning those individual fights.
Now we are going to see Bombsight go downstairs for the first hold here of FlipSid. Contradictory to what we saw Omen just do, where they took home the top 4 site.
Yeah, no, I mean, all of the different sites, again, we talked about this before, we'll talk about it again. All the different sites on Consulate are easily defensible if you, as a team, are well versed in it. And I think that FlipSid going down to the basement is just like, hey, you know what? Maybe they won't bring a thermite first round. I mean, Omen did choose to bring a thermite here, but it's always worth taking that risk because, hey, we could defend basement just as well as we can defend upstairs. Why the heck not? What if they don't bring the thermite? Then they can't open up the garage in any meaningful fashion, even if they have a Habana, and then we have a clear advantage. So why not? They also are going to be bringing a mute, which is going to give them a lot more disruption on that information game. And you are seeing Mint, you try to utilize that by maintaining control of tellers and Visa, as you can see right here. There is an IQ, however, which might work against the mute. It means they'll be able to get rid of those charges and give themselves the information they need. Chala being picked off early by T-Mercs as T-Mercs repels onto these metal windows. You see them, they're very underutilized, I feel like. Those windows give you a lot of information as an attacker, allow you to cut off the roam game very, very, very easily.
Now, Hot and Cold just about to peek out towards yellow and misses his opportunity, so he's going to toss out one Valkyrie cam and see if he can spot some more information. He was droned out, so he's going to now navigate down yellow stairs into the piano room. Hopefully someone from his team is going to be on those cameras that he just threw out. He will spot Mental. A good camera. He's waiting for Cookies to feel that it's all clear. Checked it with his device. And now we've got Hot and Cold ready to push on out here. He sees Omen. Omen is now... Is he going to go for it? This is going to be very risky. It's almost a once and done sort of thing. Once you jump out, you have to run all the way back in or go downstairs. Now, Hot and Cold was spotted out. So therefore, Dino's waiting. He's now looking down towards those yellow stairs doorway. Hanko's just going to play for time at the moment. We have a minute 20 left to go, a 4-on-5. He jumps out and gets one kill. He will most likely get traded back. However, he will pop the cap into Cookie's head and take him down, evening out man count. That's IQ also going down. T-Mercs, however, takes that bearing 9 to drop Mint for the count. Now Hot killing off Cookies inside of that main lobby has drawn the attention of Mental. And so therefore we saw that little engagement through the middle window. Hot and Cold has navigated back to the bathroom. Yellow's got him pinched here, so Hot and Cold will no longer be viable or will not be able to push out without being tagged. However, it looks as though they have given that up, and I don't think Hot and Cold has known that just yet. We've got Pojoman out by pipes. Hot and Cold, though, is still, he's going to open up the floor right above, waiting for the perfect time to do so. He's actually seen the floor open up, so he doesn't need to. He's taking a look there with 25 seconds left to go. 4 members from OMEN are all outside garage. They're going to have to push on in. The gas grenades from Adam will likely do some of the damage here. Looks like Yellow will go down from above. Hot and Cold tags another kill for the round.
There's only 15 seconds left and 2 smoke canisters still up.
And there's Mental trying to push his way into the piano room. He does tag on one. It's a 2-on-1 now. Adam's last man alive. He's inside a kitchen, but he does have a mirror window to do some damage for. It looks as though Dino's going to have that diffuser ready to go. He's trying to gas him out, and it looks like the gas will do damage and kill him off, and we will get the win here as we do with a gas grenade from Adam, taking out the Blackbeard for the count.
Yeah, he got downed, and in the millisecond between him getting downed and the gas doing damage to him, he was saved by the clock there, so the kill didn't come all the way through. But I think OMEN, they had control of that situation, of that round as a whole, and they lost it completely the second that they abandoned their chase onto the Valkyrie. They needed to either A, hunt the Valkyrie down, run into the bathroom, take that risk, take that fight, and trade maybe a kill for another kill, or B, leave someone upstairs to maintain control over piano so then you can actually push into the garage. I mean, I get the rotation call there and like, hey, let's go outside, let's open up the garage, let's push in like normal people, but you can't abandon piano control. You just simply cannot, especially not with the Valkyrie. It's still there. You have to be able to maintain that. And you saw, as soon as the Thermite decided to, all right, I'm going back up into piano, and he got that kill into the Valkyrie, then the attackers, again, had so much control that they had a 2-versus-1 situation against that smoke. They could have won the round. However, OMEN spent so much time, you know, just kind of moving about and trying to look for opportunities that weren't presenting themselves as F3 is, again, a patient team, that they kind of didn't have enough, they just straight up didn't have enough time, is when it really came down to in the end there.
Yeah, it just came down to indecision. Like you said, they decided,
Yeah,
okay, we're going to push on to Hot and Cold. Oh, wait, now we're not going to. We've lost enough time. So now it's like, okay, you wasted all that time trapping him. You have him trapped, and now you're just going to pull off.
That's the perfect word to describe it, indecision. And I think that is maybe just the, hey, first Pro League day jitters going on here for OMEN. It's entirely possible. But we'll see if they're able to grow out of that leading into the rest of the rounds on this matchup.
So as we do get underway in round number 3, this is map number 2. First map was won by FlipSid Tactics. They win this map, they will win this best-of-3 series. However, it's not out and down just yet for OMEN.
Oh no, sir. They still have a good opportunity to bring things back here. Looks like FlipSid is poised to take control of admin. They're going to have to contest Cookies, though. Cookies is more often than not the guy at the forefront of the defense when it comes to where FlipSid is taking from, and he is definitely in this instance. You can see Pojoman there on the balcony, or at least repelled on the balcony outside of A. That's going to afford the attacking squad a lot of control over the A site itself, and more importantly, the connector.
Oh, Mental's going to get tagged from behind as Adam's like, hey, this wall's soft, let me open it. Yeah. And he will take down Mental as Yellow will fall to Pojoman. You called it earlier, Pojoman was outside on the balcony of that A site. He gets that shot down onto Yellow. Looks like we're going to see Cookies tag a couple shots here onto Adam, drop him down to about 15-20 health, and he doesn't take much damage in return at all. Teamwork's now going to come up the Visa stairs where he just saw his teammate die earlier, Mental. He's going to try to get some bullets of his own. Now, unfortunately for Hot and Cold and the rest of FlipSid, they think that this stairwell's all clear. All we have to see is Teamworks pop on up. Oh, we have a castle barricade instead, so therefore...
Yeah, that castle barricade's actually working against the defenders right now, as it means the Jaeger won't be able to make a significant play onto anyone other than the players in the site itself.
Now, Chalo will push on out. He sees the shots there onto Teamworks, goes for the pre-fire, and misses his target, but Dino will pick up that shot onto Hot and Cold. That's IQ going down. Adam, though, still with minute health left. He's going to be by Soda Machines. Dino's going to be tucked away inside of the bathroom. 3-on-4. However, 3-on-3 now with Adam falling to Teamworks. You've got OMEN. This is Teamworks trying to rotate around from those Visa stairs. He gave away his attention. Now he's actually just wasted a little bit of time. He's going to go back to the stairs. They know that the push is coming in. They hear the rappels out. Looks like Mint's head will be seen by Cookies, but he's not going to go for it just yet. Looks like Pojo tries to go for the shots and it will get knocked down. Cookie's going to go for 2 kills. He gets it, but then will fall to Mint. Mint's going to get a double kill here. Last man alive is going to be Teamworks. He's going to pop on out. Looks like he will tag Mint down. And we will have OMEN securing round number 3 with plenty of time to get this diffuser destroyed.
A very chaotic last couple of seconds and a good collapse there from OMEN to bring themselves back into this map, and now 2-1. Well played there, especially from Teamworks on that Jaeger roam. Not getting too aggressive. If he had died to the Hibana, or anyone to trade him back for that matter, in the last couple seconds there as he was challenging on those Visa stairs, then we would have seen a completely different result. Good read from OMEN to play it the way that they did and not try to force anything out. Also, the Castle getting that sick double kill. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised he didn't die to the Blackbeard to be.
I was surprised as well. Pojo got 1 kill, I think that was onto, I want to say Yellow, I think is who it was onto. But one of the things I want to take away, and possibly OMEN will go back and say, yes, we should do this, is that barricade, that castle barricade at the top of Visa stairs. I feel like that should have been an 11-hit barricade, so that they could open it up if they needed to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That probably would have been preferential to what they had situated in that sort of position. Who knows? Maybe it was 11 hit, and maybe nobody hit it.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't know how easy those kills would have been.
Yeah, for all we know, who knows? Anything's possible. All the same, flip side, instead of going upstairs, will opt to go into the lobby, which is, you know, okay, sure. You want to defend a lobby instead of upstairs? You defend a lobby instead of upstairs. Anything is viable on Consulate.
One of the things we've talked about previously has been the ability for C4s to get tossed up through the drop hatches. We've got Pojo Man and Hot and Cold both with C4s in hand. They are most likely going to see one possibly downstairs, ready to toss up those C4s through either behind the reception desk or in the little closet at the side of that main entrance. There's lots of different places you can toss.
Yeah, the way to defend the first floor is to defend it from the other floors, whether it be the basement or the top floor, because one side, as you said, has those drop downs. The other side is completely destructible from the floor. So C4 from underneath is a fantastic strategy to holding the site. But it all, again, comes down to, as we've talked about on previous maps, it all comes down to how it is the attackers choose to confront you on the site itself. This angle from Mint was seen used previously from FlipSide to great effect. An attacker rappelling onto the balcony outside of the projector room can get picked off very easily here from that angle.
If I remember, the first time I saw that angle was actually Fabian from Penta during the LAN event. And that was, I think it tagged him 2 kills on the round that he got.
It is a fantastic angle, to say the least.
Now, Mental is going to be on that balcony. He's going to drone out Adam. If he sees him right away, he's going to go for the quick push, go for the shots, and bam, there he goes down for the count. But Pojo gets 1 trade onto Yellow, so it was all for naught just yet. We are going to have Dino and Teamworks forcing their way into that admin office, forcing out any defender. I believe that was Pojo Man or Chala looking around. Hot and Cold, though, goes for the shots on the Cookie. The strafes around go, and it looks like a nade gets tossed out by Cookies, and therefore that's going to force Hot and Cold to move away for the time being. We do have Chala and Pojo Man both inside of that both inside of the corner office. Looks as though we will most likely see Pojo Man drop here momentarily. He already has, and we're going to have Chala trying to hold down the fort here. With Mental and Cookies both inside of the site, right above, actually, that A site. Above the B site here, with the rest of OMEN just flanking around through the main lobby.
OMEN's investing a lot of time into taking control of that top floor, and FlipSide still have the option of defending the first floor from the basement and the first floor itself. So we'll see if it pays off for OMEN.
Now, Hot and Cold is on the top of these circle stairs. He spots one right above him. He actually gave away his position a couple seconds earlier. Ment, however, will take down Chala. Now, Chala's role was to waste as much time, put as much pressure as possible from that corner office. And he did so just enough, but will it be for the final round? Now, Cookie's going to be here. He's still at the top of the stairs. He's been spotted out by Hot and Cold multiple times now with such little health. Will he go to be aggressive, or will he just play the angles and hold it soft? We are going to see a 4-on-3 ensue with 30 seconds left to go. Mint's here, though. He's going to go for the push, though. It looks like Mental, though, going to swipe on in and just take out Mint for the count. Moving on into the piano room. Hot and Cold's going to give away his position here. He gets down 1 and retreats back down Yellow stairs.
Attackers have recovered.
However, Cookies is there to get the cut, and Pojo Man gets the trade. Another kill, a double C4 kill from Pojo Man. And this is going to be a 1-on-1 with Mental. 50 health remaining, 10 seconds to go. He's got to get this plant down from Pojo Man, and will it happen? He's going to go for the try. Pojo Man working his way forward. He now knows he's going to be to the right side. He's looking for the shots. Oh, he's going to shoot through the piano. Will he miss the target? He will miss. And that's going to force him to go upstairs. I'm curious if he's just going to decide to pre-fire. He's trying to pre-fire here. He could get the hip fire, forcing Mental out. And that's going to allow Pojo Man to just drop. Will he see a target? He's going to try to shoot through the tables on the side there. Opens up some of the wall. That's going to allow PojoMan to push on forward. He's got just multiple seconds left to go. Goes for the kill and he gets it, but he's blinded. And if he falls through the hole, he will not be able to get back in time. But he does have plenty of time here. That flashbang did not do all that it needed to. And we'll have PojoMan take home this round.
At least a 4K coming out from PojoMan. Well played to him. Exceedingly well placed C4. I'm sure his teammates were like, just go C4, C4 right now. And it definitely worked out because of that. Good camera placement as well. Having a camera in the site means they were aware there was going to be a situation where you need a Pulse and a Valkyrie downstairs in the basement, like we talked about earlier, with that C4 ready to go. And that situation did certainly arise. Now, FlipSid 3-1 looking to take home this second map of this best-of-3 series. And all they have to do to put themselves on match point is win this lobby attack.
I think it was some very good map knowledge and just situational awareness for the IQ on the attacking squad from OMEN to force his way down into the basement from circle stairs. And because he knew, he's like, look, there's 2 people with C4. I know they're most likely going to play underneath. We've cleared out top floor. And he was smart enough to get his way downstairs into the garage and picked off 1 kill. Yeah,
it's unfortunate that he wasn't prepared to challenge onto the second one, the Valkyrie. But I mean, who expects a Valkyrie to be sitting in front of White Van in that particular situation? Nah, I don't think you could really blame him for that.
If you could only get 1, Pulse would be the one you want to get killed,
yeah,
because ultimately you have Valkyrie who's just tossing C4 blindly.
Yeah, in this instance they had the Valkyrie cam, but more 90% of the time, yeah, blindly. Ooh, looks like we're gonna have a rotational cutoff. Oh, nope. Actually, I spoke too soon. Looks like he can go through that. I think I saw the Pulse go through it.
It's okay, Yellow most likely has a shotgun. He's going to make it larger.
Yeah. Just a little bit of extra time spent on it, though.
A little bit more wiggle room than he probably needed.
It's an interesting mirror that they're choosing to use there at reception. Now, the entire setup on this top floor is interesting. In general, defending the projector room itself is, you're very exposed. And it looks like we are seeing FlipSid. They're going to be pressuring this site the same way we saw Ominous pressure it, which is from above.
Ooh, Adam again on the connector window will tag down Yellow. Again, you had called it. You said a very awkward placement for that mirror window, and that's exactly where mirror was sitting. Guess what? You lasted about 35 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Got picked off right quick. And now the attackers are just looking for those extra lines of sight onto the defenders who are playing on that top floor. We have 3 of the 4 defenders upstairs, previously 4 of the 5.
Now, Hot Cold would have still been holding onto that angle. He very well might have seen T-Marks, but it looks as though T-Marks has been injured. Just down but not out of the count. Chala, however, does take down Cookies. Now, with only 2 members from the defensive squad standing, we will have OMEN not faring well at the moment. However, T-Marks does move on forward, but Hot and Cold picks off the kill there, and we now have, looks like T-Marks are being baited out as Mental will fall. Last minute alive is going to be Dino. He's tucked away inside of the bathroom here at the middle floor.
1 versus 5 for the avoiding match point right here. Dino, you got this.
This is
I believe in you.
Now he will get spotted out. He's now trapped himself in here. Not necessarily trapped himself, but he is hunkering down inside of this bunker.
You're going to see at least 3 of the attackers challenge him at the same time, and he's going to have to kill maybe 1 or 2, but lose to the 3rd. Or they're just going to plant the diffuser
honestly,
in the lobby.
The correct move would just be to plant, but Mint's all the way in piano room with no one else around, so he can't get this plant down. He's going to be prone at the moment. Adam realizes he's going to go for the shots here. He's going to try to open up this wall some more. He will go for it. Dino's going to go for the shot. The shotgun kill onto 1. He didn't spot Min inside the piano, so the piano will get planted. But it looks as though we are going to see Chala go for the final kill into Dino. We now have match point, series point happening for FlipSid Tactics.
The whole time Dino was fighting that buck, I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, isn't there a a thermite in piano just adjacent who could like look at him and shoot him right now? No, what's happening? That was really weird, but all the same, yeah. The FlipSid, they took complete control of top floor, and that's the end of the round. I mean, we saw the same thing happen for OMEN, sorry. Gosh, they established complete control of the top floor. They picked off all the FlipSid players who were playing upstairs. But then we also had FlipSid players in the basement as just in case, and that worked out for FlipSid. In this instance, OMEN fully invested upstairs, and that, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't work. Especially the mirror was facing the wrong way. Maybe if that mirror window were facing into projector from reception, then they might have had a good amount of control over projector room and not had to directly challenge the windows. But that's not what happened. Now, FlipSid, they are going to be thrust onto the basement. We'll see if they are able to successfully put themselves in the well, win this map. This is match point, series point.
Win the series here if they can do it. Now, one of the things that I'm thinking, if I am Omen and FlipSid first went to basement, then went to middle floor, I would expect for them to go back downstairs to the basement. And we will see only a Hibana being brought out from them. So what I'm thinking is either they're going to try something with Garage, which might not be in their favor, or they're going to push from server and just open up the drop hatch.
So I actually previously did notice that there was only a Hibana, so thank you for pointing that out. The fact that there's only a Hibana means that even if they do open up holes in Garage, they will be almost certainly freaking useless, which puts Omen at a very, very peculiar... What's
particular?
The word? No, it's not particular. It's peculiar. No, it's not peculiar either. I can't think of the word. I'm sure you guys know what
I was supposed to have my thesaurus here. Where's words for particular? Nope, I can't find it.
Whatever the case be, it puts them in a really precarious position.
Oh, there's going to be a trade, but Hot and Cold's going to get that dome shot there on the mental. He is down for the count. No one around him, so it looks like he will be picked off here as long as Omen just decides where he should push him.
It was precarious.
Oh, precarious. Yeah. All right, go for it. Dino, however, and Dino's going to take a couple shots towards Chala. However, Yellow's moving on forward, tags him in the butt. That's going to be about 5 health left on Yellow, and Hot and Cold will finally go down. But there's a trade I don't think was expected. Pojo gets that trade down onto Yellow, and now he's going to rotate back down. He's got about 30 health after that engagement. Still useful, taking out the Thatcher and Ash, both down for the count. This is not looking good here for Omen. Not right now.
No, sir. Yeah, again, the fact that they don't have any thermite means that their only real option here on this attack is to open up drop downs, and that doesn't really afford you any control whatsoever on this particular attack. Going into the basement, even if all the drop downs are open, I mean, there's still so many places the defenders can hide and be ready for you and challenge you. Cookies gonna pick off Mint, put themselves into a 3-on-3 now, trying to bring it back, attempting to, put themselves in a good position here. Pojo is gonna get lit up through the wall there. And that means that, who knows, maybe Omen is going to be able to bring this back.
It is very possible. I mean, if you just look at health count, yes, it's 3-on-3, but health count is in favor here of Omen.
Yeah, I mean, especially with those Blackbeard shields.
Now it looks as though some of that wall does get opened up. Teamwork's moving on forward from servers. Dino, however, is looking very cautiously at pipes, waiting for someone to make a peek. Chala is going to be the one to go for this challenge. However, who's going to get this upper hand? Dino does have his full shield, 2 full shields to go. He's looking for the shot to the Chala, tags it with 1 bullet, I think. However, we will have Cookies fall to Chala now. That's going to be from the yellow stairs into the kitchen, as Adam does have his left side covered, so he's going to focus way onto the right side. Now it looks like Dino's going to go for the push. Adam is blind, and he will go down. That's going to give control of this middle office with a mirror window, looking in towards the site here of A. Teamworks is going to have to rotate around inside a kitchen, but he's got lots of angles he's got to be weary of. Pojo Man's close here onto the window. He does not have the C4 anymore. With 10 seconds left to go, Flashbang's going to go in. He's going to move on forward, goes for the shot there into Teamworks. He gets 1. He's got a couple bullets left to go to Dino. It looks like Chala's going to grab it, and FlipSid's going to take home this series 5-1 in what was almost a clutch here by Omen.